America, 11 times the defense budget, 16 times more tanks, the most powerful military in human history. Germany, enough ammunition for 2 days of combat, fighter jets that couldn't fly, infantry vehicles that all broke down at once. But German tanks have beaten American Abrams in every head-to-head test. Sweden, Greece, Switzerland all chose the Leopard. A German submarine killed a US carrier group in war games. Their air defense is hitting 99% of Russian missiles in Ukraine. Germany builds world-class weapons. They just forget to maintain them. So could they survive an American invasion? Let's find out. The Leopard 2A8 might actually be the world's best tank. The Leopard 2 has become NATO's de facto standard tank, operated by 23 countries compared to just 6 for the American M1 Abrams. The reason is practical. The Leopard uses half the fuel of the gas turbine-powered Abrams, 7.2 liters per kilometer versus 14.7 liters per kilometer, runs on standard diesel rather than jet fuel, and has won every head-to-head competition against American armor. Sweden, Greece, Switzerland, and Spain all tested both tanks. All chose the Leopard. The latest 2A8 variant, which rolled out in November 2025, adds the Israeli Trophy Active Protection System capable of intercepting incoming missiles, third-generation thermal imaging, and 360-degree situational awareness. At 65 to 69 tons, with a 120mm Rheinmetall L/55A1 gun, the same gun the Abrams uses under license, it matches American firepower while offering superior logistics and a lower thermal signature. The shocking fact, in December 2016, ISIS destroyed or captured 10 Turkish Leopard 2A4s at Al-Bab, Syria. Videos showed turrets blown completely off by ammunition cook-offs. Turkish military called it a trauma, but German defense analysts blamed tactical malpractice. The older 2A4s were used as static artillery without infantry support, violating every doctrine they were designed for. In Ukraine, where modern Leopard 2A6s follow proper tactics, the tanks have performed well in tank-on-tank engagements against Russian armor. Versus the Abrams, the Leopard wins on fuel efficiency, logistics, heat signature, speed, 72 kilometers per hour versus 67 kilometers per hour, and export success. The Abrams holds an edge in frontal armor protection thanks to depleted uranium composite layers. Both mount essentially identical main guns, because the M256 on American tanks is a licensed Rheinmetall design. Germany's howitzer fired 20,000 rounds from one barrel rated for 4,500. The PZH-2000 self-propelled howitzer is considered NATO's finest artillery piece for good reason. Its multiple-round simultaneous impact (MRSI) capability allows 5 shells fired at different trajectories to all hit the same target at the same moment. Devastating effect with zero warning time. A battalion of 24 PZH-2000s can put 120 rounds downrange in 60 seconds, triple any comparable force. In November 2019, the PZH-2000 set a world record at South Africa's Alcanpan test. Range: a 67-kilometer shot using Denel VLAP rocket-assisted ammunition, the longest confirmed for any NATO standard 155mm howitzer. Rheinmetall is now testing 75-kilometer range. By comparison, the American M109A7 Paladin maxes out around 30 kilometers with standard rounds and 40 kilometers with future upgrades. Ukraine performance: Germany delivered 24 PZH-2000 units to Ukraine, where they've become the most powerful artillery system in Ukrainian inventory. The shocking durability revelation: one barrel fired 20,000 rounds, over 4 times its 4,500 shot-rated lifespan, according to Rheinmetall CEO Armin Paperger. However, the systems faced maintenance challenges early on. Ukraine's extreme firing rates, far exceeding the 100 rounds per day design limit, caused loading mechanism failures, with up to 50% of systems in repair at times during 2022 to 2023. Versus the M109A7 Paladin, the PZH-2000 fires faster, 3 rounds in 9 seconds, versus the Paladin's slower semi-automated loading. Shoots farther, 67 kilometers versus approximately 40 kilometers, and delivers superior accuracy, 1 meter missed distance, at 48 kilometers with Excalibur precision rounds. The American system wins on logistics compatibility, shares parts with the Bradley, and lower weight, 32 tons versus 55+ tons. The IRIS-T has a claimed 99% kill rate against cruise missiles. Germany's IRIS-T-SLM medium-range air defense system has become Ukraine's most effective shield against Russian cruise missiles and drones. Ukrainian Air Force officials report 99% intercept rates for cruise missiles, with Deel Defense CEO Helmut Rauch confirming 240 kills, with almost 100% success rate by June 2024. One battery neutralized 15 cruise missiles in a single attack. Another engagement saw 8 cruise missiles destroyed with 8 interceptors in under 30 seconds. The secret is the missile's imaging infrared seeker. It cannot be jammed by radar countermeasures. Combined with the TRML-4DAESA radar specifically designed to detect small, low-flying targets, the system excels at exactly what Russia throws at Ukrainian cities, at approximately $200 million per battery versus over $1 billion for Patriot. It's remarkably cost-effective. The breakthrough moment: in July 2025, Ukraine confirmed IRIS-T-SLM successfully intercepted short-range ballistic missiles, the first combat validation of a capability the system wasn't originally designed for. Versus American systems, IRIS-T fills a different niche than Patriot, which excels at long-range ballistic missile defense, up to 160 kilometers range versus IRIS-T's 40 kilometers. At $350,000 to $420,000 per IRIS-T missile versus $3 to $7 million per PAC-3, Ukraine layers both systems: Patriot for ballistic threats like Kinjal hypersonics, IRIS-T for the far more numerous cruise missiles and drones. The Puma IFV is the world's most protected and most unreliable. On paper, the Puma infantry fighting vehicle represents the pinnacle of protected troop transport. An unmanned turret puts the entire crew in a single armored compartment. Modular AMAP composite armor defeats 30mm cannon rounds and RPGs, and the mine protection system survives 10 kilograms of TNT blasts. The Congressional Budget Office rated it more capable than both the Bradley and the proposed U.S. ground combat vehicle. Then came December 2022. During a NATO readiness exercise, all 18 Pumas from Panzergrenadier Battalion 112 broke down, a 100% failure rate. Major General Ruprecht von Butler called it a total failure. Problems included electronics failures, turret defects, and one vehicle catching fire. Germany had to deploy 50-year-old Marder YFVs instead for NATO's Spearhead force. The reliability issues run deeper. The Puma is too wide for standard rail transport. Crews must unscrew side armor panels, taking 24 hours for 14 vehicles. And the vehicle only fits soldiers under 1.84 meters, 6 feet tall. German soldiers have nicknamed it the Pannenpanzer, breakdown tank, at approximately 15+ million euros per unit, more than many main battle tanks and 3 to 5 times the cost of an American. Bradley. The Puma represents Germany's troubled relationship between ambition and execution. Versus the M2A4. Bradley. The Puma offers superior protection and a larger 30mm cannon with airburst munitions versus the Bradley's 25mm. But the Bradley costs a fraction of the price, has been battle-proven for 40 years across Desert Storm, Iraq, Afghanistan, and now Ukraine, and actually works reliably. Croatia considered the Puma, but chose Bradley for 1/3 the price. Germany's Type 212 submarines pioneered technology the world copied. Germany leads the world in conventional submarine technology, and the Type 212A represents why. It was the first series production submarine with fuel cell air-independent propulsion, AIP, a revolutionary system that combines hydrogen and oxygen in Siemens PEM fuel cells to produce electricity silently, with no moving parts, no heat signature, and virtually no acoustic signature. The only waste product is water, used for toilet flushing. A Type 212 can remain submerged for up to 21 days on AIP alone. In 2016, one conducted a 1,600 nautical mile journey entirely on fuel cells. The non-magnetic steel hull produces less than 40% the magnetic signature of conventional submarines, evading both magnetic anomaly detectors and mines. The boats can operate in just 17 meters, 56 feet, of water, crucial for the shallow Baltic Sea. The embarrassing truth: in 2017 to 2018, Germany had 0 operational submarines, the first time in naval history. Of 6 boats, 1 was in midlife refit since 2014. 1 suffered battery damage with no shipyard space available. 1 hit a rock off Norway, damaging its rudder. And 1 was nicknamed Organ Donor because it was being cannibalized for parts. Only 3 trained crews existed for 6 submarines. ThyssenKrupp Marine Systems, TKMS, has sold 105 conventionally powered submarines since 1970, with 97 going to export customers including Israel, South Korea, Singapore, India, Greece, and Turkey. The next generation, Type 212CD, ordered 6 for Germany, 6 for Norway, will be 65% larger with a diamond-shaped stealth hull, next-generation fuel cells, and Arctic capability. Versus Virginia-class. Unfair comparison. American nuclear submarines offer unlimited submerged endurance and cost $3.4 billion versus approximately 500 million euros. But in littoral waters where German submarines operate, the Type 212's near-silent AIP and shallow water capability make it extraordinarily difficult to detect. During exercises, German submarines have repeatedly sunk American carrier groups. The Eurofighter beat an F-35 in a dogfight, with a major caveat. In September 2024, NATO exercises over Germany, a Eurofighter Typhoon achieved a gun solution against an F-35 in close-range combat. In 2012, Red Flag Alaska exercises, Eurofighters scored simulated kills against F-22 Raptors and F/A-18E/F Super Hornets. These results reflect the Typhoon's exceptional maneuverability and speed, Mach 2.35 versus the F-35's Mach 1.6, with Super Cruise capability at Mach 1.5 without afterburner. The caveat: as the F-35 pilot noted, in real combat he would use first look, first shot advantage rather than accept a fair dogfight. The F-35's revolutionary sensor fusion and stealth allow it to detect and engage targets long before a Typhoon ever sees it. The Eurofighter remains a Generation 4++ aircraft competing against true 5th-generation stealth. It simply cannot hide. Germany operates approximately 140 Eurofighters and has ordered 58 more, including 15 electronic warfare variants to replace aging Tornadoes. Additionally, Germany ordered 35 F-35A stealth fighters under Zeitenwende, recognizing that for nuclear delivery and missions requiring stealth penetration, the American aircraft is irreplaceable. The Tiger helicopter flies when it can. Germany's Eurocopter Tiger attack helicopter entered service in 2005 as Europe's first all-composite combat helicopter, with 80% of its airframe made from carbon fiber and Kevlar. For exceptional stealth and weight reduction, its mast-mounted sight allows engaging targets from behind cover, and its gearbox can run 60 minutes without oil. The readiness disaster. In January 2020, only 8 of 53 Tigers could fly. In 2018, just 11.6 were operational. Australia replaced its entire Tiger fleet with Apaches due to chronic availability and maintenance problems. Germany suspended deliveries in 2010 over serious wiring defects. The July 2017 crash in Mali that killed both pilots was traced to improperly trained civilian contractors, causing a fatal malfunction. Germany plans to retire all Tigers by 2038, having withdrawn from the Tiger Mark III upgrade program. Australia may gift its 22 retiring Tigers to Ukraine, though Ukraine might question the value given their maintenance requirements. Versus AH-64E Apache Guardian. The Apache carries the longbow fire control radar the Tiger lacks, has extensive combat experience from Desert Storm through Afghanistan, enjoys 16+ export customers versus 4 for Tiger, and offers far better reliability. The Tiger's only advantages are its lower thermal/radar signature and lighter weight. Could Germany resist a US invasion? The math is brutal. For entertainment purposes, absolutely not. The comparison isn't close. Defense budget, US $831 billion versus Germany $127 billion, 6.5 times more. Active personnel, US 1.33 million versus Germany 184,000, 7 times more. Total aircraft, US 13,032 versus Germany 569, 23 times more. Tanks, US 4,666 versus Germany 296, 16 times more. Aircraft carriers, US 11 versus Germany 0 nuclear weapons. US approximately 6,500 warheads versus Germany 0. The US achieves complete air superiority within days and naval dominance immediately. Germany's entire annual defense budget equals roughly 8 weeks of US spending. And perhaps most pointedly, 40,000 US troops are already stationed in Germany. But this thought experiment misses the point. Germany is a NATO ally. Any attack invokes Article 5. More importantly, Germany's military systems, Leopard 2 tanks, PZH 2000 howitzers, Iris-T air defense, Type 212 submarines, represent genuine engineering achievements that complement rather than compete with American capabilities. When Ukrainian forces use German howitzers firing American Excalibur shells, protected by German Iris-T and American Patriot systems working in tandem, the result is greater than either nation alone. Conclusion: engineering excellence waiting for political will. Germany builds world-class military technology. Tanks that win competitions against Abrams, submarines no one, can detect air defense systems with 99% kill rates, then struggles to maintain enough of them to actually fight. The Zeitenwende marked a rhetorical turning point, but the German Council on Foreign Relations concluded in 2024 that it has failed. Strategic continuity presented as change. The €100 billion fund runs out in 2027. Meeting NATO's 2% GDP target requires an additional 20 to 30 billion euros annually after that. Chancellor Merz has promised Germany will become the strongest conventional army in Europe. But that requires fixing procurement systems, maintenance infrastructure, and recruiting pipelines that have atrophied over 3 decades of peace dividends. Germany's weapon systems are genuinely impressive, often superior to American equivalents in specific capabilities, and battle-proven in Ukraine. But the military operating them went from 495,000 soldiers during the Cold War, what one historian called perhaps the world's best army, to 184,000 today, many without enough ammunition, equipment, or training time. The engineering is excellent. The readiness is embarrassing. Whether the Zeitenwende changes, that remains history's next chapter.